If you've ever wanted to sit down at the piano and actually play music without getting stuck reading music notation or memorising loads of theory, then this lesson is for you. In this video, I'm going to show you how chords work, how to find them easily on the piano, and most importantly, how to use simple rhythm patterns to start playing real songs straight away. By the end, you'll understand the building blocks behind thousands of pop, rock, jazz, and worship songs, and you'll have a few practical patterns that you can take away and use in your own playing. So let's start right at the beginning with what a chord actually is. A chord is when you play two or more keys on the piano at the same time, and they can be split into four main groups: major, minor, augmented, and diminished. We'll only be using the most common chord types today, the major and the minor chords. And a major chord, you could say it sounds happy. For example, the C major, and minor chords sounding sad. So you can hear the difference. The major has a brighter, happy sound, and the minor chord a bit more darker and sad sounding. And here is a quick, really useful trick that you can use to find any major or minor chord on the piano. To find any major chord on the piano, we'll use a C major as an example. You start with a C, and then you skip any three white or black keys out. So 1, 2, 3. Then you play the next key up, which would be an E. Then you skip 2 white or black keys. So 1, 2. Then you play the next key up. That would be a C major. And you can do that starting on any key and you'll find the major chord. For example, an A major, you start with an A, then you skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you move to the next key up, which would be a C sharp here, and then you skip 2, so 1, 2, play the next key up, which would be an E, and that would be an A major. And the chord symbol for a major chord is just a capital letter. So for example, a C, but sometimes you might see C maj or a C with a triangle next to it. To find any minor chord, you just flip those two numbers, so a 2 and a 3. So for a C minor, you would play a C, then you would skip 2, so skip 1, skip 2, then play the next key up, which would be the E flat, and then you skip 3, so 1, 2, 3. Play the next key up to the right, which would be a G. So this would be a C minor. And the symbol for minor chords is just a capital letter and M or min. And you would say that these are triad chords in root position because they have 3 notes and the key the chord is named after is at the bottom or the left side of the chord, root position. You can also use things called chord inversions, where you change around the order of the notes in the chord. For example, C major in root position, a first inversion, and also a second inversion. But we're not going to focus on those right now. I want to get you playing piano using chords, and the quickest way to get started is to learn some rhythm patterns. You can then take these away and apply them to songs of your own choice. Songs are written using chord progressions, and we're going to use this simple but also very common chord progression: C major, G major, A minor, and F major. So these are the chord symbols. But when in relation to a song or chord progression, we can split this up into bars that contain beats. So if we were to play this chord progression with 4 beats per bar, you could play each of those chords in your right hand 4 times per bar like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we wanted to add in the left hand, we could play the root of each chord. So for example, the C major, the root is a C, 1 octave down in the left hand, an octave meaning 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or an octave. So for the G major, the root 1 octave down would be here, the A minor would be here, the F major would be here. You can then hold this left hand bass note underneath your right hand chords, like this. And don't worry if you don't, but if you do have a sustain pedal, you can hold that down and you can reset it for each new chord. So this rhythm pattern will allow you to play hundreds, if not thousands of songs in a simple way. You could then add what I call a left hand kick drum rhythm. For this we need to use half beats, which is when you divide each of those main beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, into halves. And to count the half beats, we use a plus sign, but we verbalize it with an and. So you would count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This left hand kick drum rhythm adds some energy underneath, and to do it, you play the left hand root note on the first beat, and then you hold it, and then you play it again on the and after the fourth beat, like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And notice when I'm playing that left hand, I am using different fingers here. You can copy that, but if that feels too tricky for the moment, you could just play it with either your thumb or your second finger or index and move that around. Then you add the right hand back in and it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And again a bit faster without me counting out loud. Here is another really common rhythm pattern that uses half beats, and it's used all the time in all different types of music. Your right hand plays on the 1, the and after the 2, and then on the fourth beat, like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 then your left hand can play the root note underneath, held throughout the bar like before. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You can then apply these rhythms to any chord progression. For example, let's take this same chord progression but change the timing. We're now going to count in groups of 6. So again, we can play the chords on the main beats and play the root note underneath, but it will completely change the vibe of the progression, giving it a waltz-like feel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could then start to play around with the chords a bit more. For example, we could take the first progression with 4 beats per bar and break up the chords in the right hand, playing the top 2 notes of the chord on the main beat and the root or bottom of the chord in between on the half beats. Like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we add the left hand root underneath. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You could also add the left hand kick drum rhythm back in. Or you could take the chord progression we use for counting 6 beats, but break the chords up in your right hand, played from the bottom to the top, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we add the left hand back in. There are endless possibilities, and with learning chords, rhythms and patterns, you can actually get to an impressive standard, giving you the chance to play your favourite songs without having to learn to read music notation. If you're interested in this approach and want to take it further, then the Ultimate Piano Chords course, which is one of the many courses in my membership, is the perfect place to start. It will give you a structured learning path with step-by-step lessons, taking out the guesswork for you. And you can try everything free for the first 7 days. I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you're in the mood for another lesson right here, right now, then check out this video. We will learn the 7 best piano patterns for beginners. Enjoy!